Hi, thanks for joining us. My name is Mike Pazinski, and I'm the owner of OnPoint Software Consulting. We are part of a group of very long-term Timberline consultants. We have proven results nationwide in the U.S. as well as worldwide. We focus not only on advanced Timberline training and processes and on Timberline solutions for clients. We also focus on out-of-the-box solutions for you to get more, basically to get more out of your software, to extend your useful life of Timberline and to get more from your software. Today we're going to talk about in-place drill downs. First, for financial statements. As we look at this, I'll make a few points now and we'll get into more detail. These financials can be for any period. They can be 24 months back. It can go 20 years back. It's totally up to you. There are no limitations. We'll see how to drill down to transactions, and we'll also see how to drill down to batch detail to see the numbers that make up a batch that posted to a certain GL account. We're also going to see how to drill down and launch an AP invoice right from the financial statement screen. Coming from a public accounting background, how much time do companies spend with month-end analysis, running financial statements, doing their analysis, pulling invoices, refiling? Especially now, it's audit time. We're about to wrap up the year 2011, and we're all starting to pull invoices. CPA firms are coming in to do their audit planning. How much cost is there for the entire cycle? And now another question. How much time and cost would we save if you could do all these things from one screen? Think about that as we're looking at this, and think about how much this would save your company, not only in hard dollar cost, but in man hours and opportunity cost while your accountants and other people are doing this month and year-end work. We're also going to look at a labor report. I've got something that shows a 30,000-foot view with drill down to details by codes and by employees. So the thought process there is maybe you're looking at a list of jobs and the overtime hours on those jobs, and then you can select from that screen those jobs you want to go down and look further at by code or by employee. Okay, moving along. For the first report, I'm going to show a financial from the menu of the viewer that we're going to use to launch a Crystal report. And we can organize our reports and financials any way we want to on this viewer, and it's specific to the computer, all right, or to the profile on a login ID. In this case, you can see I've got something I've called a journal entry report, and I've got another income statement. So I'll go ahead and get that puppy going. Now, we see in a previous video that the viewer that we use, when we pick ranges, we can put any information on that range screen that we choose. All right. In this case, I've chosen to put the company number, the description, and the current month end of that company. A lot of folks struggle to remember what month they're in, especially when you've got multiple companies, multiple modules. So this is a way to get that information real quick. If you wanted to see a listing of accounts that were over budget here and then select that financial, you could do that too. It's basically up to you. We can control what you see on these range screens. Very, very, very powerful. Also, you'll notice it remembers my last selection, Company 21. I could click on the joint venture. I could click on Company 10. I'll go ahead and stick with Company 21 though. Now for some of the real power. On the parameter value for the period end, I can pick any period that I choose. I can go back, like I said before, I can go back 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, as long as the data is there. Now in the sample data, we're back in the first and second quarter of 2010, so I'll choose May 31st of 2010. All right, you can see that I've got a basic looking income statement here. I've got the account number. I put that in for reference only. I've got a plus sign. I'll get into that in just a moment. The description, and then the current month and the year to date. Now on this one, I chose the current month to be everything that's in May of 2010, and year to date everything through May 31st, 2010. Okay, so far pretty standard looking. Now let's say you're looking at this and you say, you know, I think subcontract for the month of May looks kind of high. So what I've done here is I've put a little plus signs that when you click that, let me roll up to where you can see this. We're expanding this now so you can see the entries that make up these balances. So here's the entries that make up the 49,000 and the entries that make up the 97,000. Okay. So on that detail, I put the accounting date, where it came from, the batch, the reference, and the description. All right. Again, you choose what you want to see here. Now you'll notice that a couple of these fields are highlighted in blue. All right, here's where some more of the power comes in. Let's say that this First Kingston Plumbing invoice, you're not quite sure what this batch is doing. You can click that, and now we're going to drill down to the detail that's in that batch. And I've chosen to put the description, the debit, the credit. I've included the job numbers and more reference information. Again, very powerful. So now you can see the jobs that hit that cost account. Okay, and you can also see that there are some entries here that don't have a job, and you might have a reconciliation issue there. So there's another great way to be of more value to you. On reference 2, if you click that, let me make this so you can see it. Now you're getting into the invoice that's scanned in on your system that created that transaction. Now, in my example, I'm assuming that you've got a document system where you scan your invoices and associate them to that EP invoice in Timberline. That of course be a requirement of this so that the system knows. You can see here I scanned in a legal invoice. Actually, this was from a traffic ticket I got when I had my motorcycle in New York. So my wife doesn't know about this one. So that wasn't too smart. Anyway, if anybody's close to Ozark, Missouri, Starrett and Schilling, great law firm. I've been using their services for years, and they are wonderful. Teach me a lot about great service. Anyway, how powerful is that to be able to browse down your invoices, click, view, and print your invoices on the spot? Very powerful, a lot of cost savings there. So you can see I can hit my plus signs and expand and collapse as I go. Maybe, maybe you're wondering what's in other, this $831. You can hit your plus sign, expand that, and see that that other is actually made up of quite a few smaller invoices. We're going to go to the next page on this. Okay. So we've seen an example that was done with financial statements. Let's look at another example on the operations side of your labor, for self-performed labor, for those of us that have self-perform. Notice that Timberline security does pass through. We're talking about labor here. I'm sure the first thing we're thinking about is how confidential is this remaining? So on this particular screen, on a job cost report, I'm showing you the job, the description, all the regular hours, all the overtime hours, all the other hours, and your total dollars. Okay. Now let's say in this example you're looking and you say, you know, this Northwest Food Warehouse, their overtime hours are just way out. So we can expand that and we can see the cost codes that make up that total and the hours that were posted to those codes. Now obviously you're thinking now is, why is concrete finishing so high? Do we have change orders that are creating overtime hours? Are we not managing? Is it weather conditions? What's happening there? Now you can hit the plus sign and further drill down to the period end date, the employee, and the hours that make up the total for concrete finishing. Very, very powerful information. I just thought about something. We could have a link here to field reports for that day. You might see some patterns here where on certain days overtime is high. We might give you a link to the field report for that day. Maybe you can get into the weather conditions. Maybe there were deliveries that disrupted operations. Maybe the owner was coming through with changes. so that you can get an understanding of why your overtime's so high. All right, I hope this was helpful to you. On our next video, we're going to talk about another tool, and that is synchronizing your Timberline data over to SQL. We're doing a lot of projects here where companies are opting to go to SQL and to get all of the benefits of that, including just lightning fast reporting. We're also now we've got a foundation to build custom solutions on. And it's also a foundation for more BI, for more business intelligence and more actionable information. So look forward to that. And if you see it on the list, please check that out. Again, if you have any questions, please call us. Our office number is 417-581-7700. Look forward to talking to you and to seeing if we might be able to help out. Thanks for checking us out. Bye-bye.